Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the TransMissions podcast where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of TransMissions, G1 Blaster is getting a reissue. Hasbro teases a Back to the Future Transformer, and Transformers R.E.D teases some new action figures. Today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2020, and this is episode 388 of TransMissions.
Welcome to TransMissions, the podcast that will admit that we did retweet a video from one of our listeners yelling, "Turtle Power!" I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent TransMissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey, happy Canada Day. And if it's Canada Day, happy birthday, Jeremy.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
I don't look a day over 50.
Let's talk Transformers. I didn't forget.
I was 2 seconds away from saying line.
And happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian listeners. Thank you for celebrating my birthday.
Every year. We do it on the same day every year.
Oh, hopefully all you Canadians got Jeremy some awesome Transformers for Canada Day.
All of you go to Toys R Us in honor of me.
Well, better. We have a spot here for him in Canada. He can come.
Actually, I can't right now.
Yeah, we're. I don't think we get as Americans. We're pretty much blacklisted from everywhere else in the world. We're not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah, you might be right.
But to be honest, I really don't want to go anywhere right now. Just stay in my hole.
Yeah. Anyway, we start off the show, as always, by thanking our Donatrions, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal to help keep the show going. We really appreciate your support and thank you immensely for continuing to show us your love. If you would like to become a Donatrion and you are not one already, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can find those links to sign up. We do want to give you a heads up that there are changes coming. We are planning on doing a significant restructuring of our Donatrion tiers and everything, but we're going to roll that out around our 7th anniversary. So that will be in August. Look out for that, and we'll give you more information in the next few weeks. So you'll get plenty of information ahead of time before we roll everything out. But just want to make you aware and have something to look forward to. So we're trying to give you some additional rewards, additional incentives to become a Transmissions Donatrion. You can also help the show out by buying some merchandise from our TeePublic store, and that is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can also check out our friend K-Girl store at teepublic.com/user/superstark. We've got lots of shirt designs and masks, lots of fun stuff, other merchandise, and that really helps us out. And we have seen people have been going to the store and getting stuff, and that helps. Every little bit helps, so thank you. This week, we also put out the uncut version of Empire of Rust, episode 26, and this is another exclusive for our Donatrion, so you can access this through our Patreon podcast feed or on our Dropbox for the PayPal Donatrions. So this is the expanded episode 26 of Empire of Rust that came out last week, and you get all the bloopers and behind the scenes stuff from Mike and his crew. So enjoy that. That should already be out in your Patreon feed if you have access to that. Another Donatrion bonus we've been putting out is getting Yoshi to do some commentary for our episodes. When he can't be on the show, he can record his own commentary track for our show. A little bit of an MST3K Yoshi style version, and Yoshi did this for episode 386 and 186 of alt mode, and he's also done 187 of alt mode. And this one should be interesting because we had a significant discussion about his review of Transformers versus the Terminator #2. So look forward to that. That should be coming up very soon. But for now, we've got both 386 and 186 already up in the Patreon feed, and 187 should be coming very soon. So
yeah, I haven't listened to his 187 yet, but just from what he was telling us, as soon as he heard what we had said on alt mode, he was like enraged, and he's like, "Oh, I'm doing." So it's gonna be interesting. But
yeah.
If you like this and want us to keep doing it, let us know. It's only a test right now to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anything that requires a lot more work, it's especially with Yoshi being so busy with his home life. We need to know that it's worth doing. So let us know.
And this could be, this is another thing where, we're trying to see if this is something that's exciting, something that's worthwhile for listeners and something that'll encourage them to sign up. All right. And one last thing, and this is out on our Transmissions Extra feed. We got another Transmissions Extra episode, and Jeremy and Daryl, you guys had a little discussion. What did you guys talk about?
Well, I don't know if you've heard this. There's been some shakeups in the comic book industry, and we were just talking about that. DC has completely cut ties with Diamond Distributing, and it's going to have a fairly big impact. So Daryl and we talked about what happened, and we speculated, and particularly about like the local stores, what's the impact going to be there. So it was a fun talk, about half an hour. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. It was good. I had a good time talking about it. We'll have to talk about comics some more.
Yeah, and I think it's always fun when you guys have a chat about that, and it's already up in the Transmissions Extra feed. And so if you're already subscribed to the main Transmissions feed, you get all the episodes. But if you want just the Transmissions Extra, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/extra, maybe.
Yep. That works.
All right. Now, I think it was a kind of a slow week this week, right? So we don't have a lot of toy news to talk about, right? Nothing big happened this week, right?
No, just a bunch of speculation.
For most of the week, it was just...
So let's get into some toys.
Let's go into the comic book review. All right, this week, it started off with a bit of a teaser image. Everybody we got news that there was going to be a Fan First Friday live event hosted by Hasbro that we're going to do a live stream watch on Facebook, I guess. And that was basically the only spot you could watch it was on Facebook, but it was kind of fun. And yeah, so they were going to do that on Friday. It was going to be at 11 a.m. and you could watch it there. But before then, you had 4 more days to get through, and they weren't going to let those days go by without teasing something. And I can't remember what day it was, but I think, let's see here. I think it was, Wednesday? Must have been Wednesday. They dropped an image of the collaborative series. So that's the one that they did Ectotron with. And this one is a little different. This is Transformers and Back to the Future. This is the 35th anniversary, and they're looking at doing a collaborative figure with Back to the Future. So it shows a picture of the Autobot logo and also the DeLorean. Movie 2 DeLorean, actually, the hover version. So that might be a bit of a clue. Now, prior to this, we hadn't gotten any word of this, but we did see that leaked image a couple weeks ago of the 2020 collaborative between Transformers and Top Gun. So are they doing 2 collaborative figures this year? Looks like it. Also, before we go on, I do want to mention that there were 2 other images floating around this week that were unofficial. I'm not going to say fake because, one of them's fake. One of them was for a project. One of them is a collaborative image made up by a fan who is doing a customs project for Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a very awesome customs setup that he's got, and it is really awesome. He's I'm trying to find his name here so that I can quote him properly. He is Switcraft on Twitter and Facebook, I believe. And there is a really cool project that he's done, and you can check out his stuff by just going to his Twitter at Switcraft, SWITTCRAFT. It's a really awesome project there. Apparently it's been a year's worth of work to get this done. The second image, it came from BotCon, and this one is Transformers and Star Trek. This one is completely fake. They just tweeted out this image in more of a, wouldn't it be cool if this existed kind of thing? And it's not real. So yeah, their exact quote was, "We are thrilled to exclusively announce what would be an amazing exclusive announcement of an exclusive crossover between Mirror and Shattered Glass." So it's not real. A lot of these are going around, and people are speculating or can't wait to see this. This would be awesome. Is this going to be Fortress Tiberius from the comic book? It's not real. I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but you just got to read the tweet a little bit more closely. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. The Back to the Future one is real. It's happening. Hasbro did tweet about it, and it is happening. So guys, let's talk about this for a second. Can we all assume it's the DeLorean? What are we looking at here, Charles?
Well, before we get into speculation, I do want to say I want to offer like my personal thank you to Daryl for making this happen, because it's because of Daryl that we're getting this at all.
Is it me? Did I do this?
You did this. I
don't think I did this. But
well, I mean,
if only we had audio proof.
Yeah, we have video and audio evidence. The audio evidence we can put here in the podcast, we also have video evidence on our YouTube channel, because you were at Fan Expo Canada 2019 back in August when we still had conventions.
You remember conventions?
Yeah. And you got to ask, you participated in the Hasbro panel at Fan Expo Canada, and you asked a question, and then they asked a question back to you, and looks like this is their answer.
Apparently, Jeremy, you got some audio there, eh?
Yeah. Let's hear what actually happened. See if Charles is actually correct or not.
So you've got, I'll take that. You want me to? Yeah. All right, so we've got the Ghostbusters and Transformers crossover that's doing really well.
Yeah.
The comic book is killing, and the toys are amazing.
Thank you.
This has got to be, cranking out ideas, possibilities about what could be next. And there have been fan art, over the years. People have been pushing other properties together. You guys have other properties you could push together,
Can I ask the question back? Do
Sure.
you have a property that you want us to collaborate with?
Oh man, I mean,
That's what you're inspired.
I would love a Back to the Future DeLorean, Transformer.
Yeah.
That's
It's John Smith.
that's a dream.
One of my
I mean,
favorites.
you could possibly even kind of bring back G.I. Joe in a way by pulling G.I. Joe in there.
G.I. Joe love.
Mask and Transformers and G.I. Joe all fit. Like it's all.
All right. So that's pretty much it. And John Warden did say on there it was his favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, they asked you specifically, you gave them an answer, and now
now it's a
this
thing.
announcement.
So are you saying I should take credit for this? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I mean, we've got that evidence. Just
Do we have any other proof that the idea came from anywhere else?
I guess no.
This is almost a year ago. I mean, you couldn't have foreseen the future. I mean, this is almost a year ago. So
Unless he has a DeLorean.
Well, I mean, I did have an interview with John Warden earlier that day. No, I had it after actually. So, yeah, I couldn't really have seen this. All right, sure, whatever. I did this. This is my. this is all me. I did it all. If the toy sucks, I didn't do it. It wasn't.
But yeah, I mean, I am hoping for a DeLorean Transformer. I am hoping for the wheels that flip to the hover car mode and like a triple changer, basically, like a car, hover, car mode, and robot mode. That would be the dream. If I'm gonna get greedy, I would also like the locomotive time machine too. That maybe turns into an Astro train or something. I don't know. Let's get crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think this is awesome. I mean, this is instant buy for me. I mean, DeLorean Transformer, let's go. Give it to me now. I want it.
Jeremy, we were talking about this before the show started. We were kind of speculating on if it's not the DeLorean, what could it be? And obviously the train comes up. But you were pulling pretty hard for the what was it? The terrorists? Yeah, you want the terrorists?
That van from
the
the
Libyans. Yes, that's right. The Libyan van, which we could probably just pull off with an Ironhide remold. Yeah.
Or I'd mention the
pickup truck. Yeah, we could do that.
The black. I mean, get a movie Ironhide. There you go.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, isn't Takara doing some new train bots for like Japanese exclusive?
They are. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
If they're already putting molds or putting work into a transforming train, you can bring it over here, customize, and make it work. Or, I mean, they also do have the Astro train, the recent one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is great. I am so excited. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. And the only thing that's really bugging me is the logo, the flux capacitor. It's over so you can kind of see it in that half of the X. I'm like, it needs to be centered.
It's not centered properly. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but it's fine. I love this. I think it's great.
Yeah, awesome. I'm right there with you. This has been,
who's going to have a hoverboard?
The DeLorean has been kind of linked by the fandom to Transformers for much longer than what I said last year. I mean, it's just, This is something that the fans have wanted for so long. And I'm excited for the fans' reaction to this, right? Everyone is really into it. Ectotron was a smash hit. Like, this has been something that people have wanted for a long time. And you don't have to go further than just like, die-cast car collectors to know that movie vehicles are really popular.
Well, especially when you have one that looks so cool, like the DeLorean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now you're going to take cool movie vehicles and turn them into Transformers. The best part about it for me is that they're not named characters. So Ectotron is he's new. They're not trying to make, they did the Optimus Prime, repeat. Of course.
But they weren't really trying to make the main vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. So Ectotron is not like, I don't know, let's say Ironhide again. They didn't turn Ironhide into a freaking Ecto 1, right? So this is something that I've really liked about it. They're not shoehorning some existing character into a new body just to do this.
The Top Gun one, the box said Maverick as the character.
Right, exactly. Who's that? So let's I like that. So this has been fun, and I really am into this. If they want to do 2 this year, that's fine. If they want to do 3, I'm into it. They're not that expensive. The Ectotron was $30 for me here in Canada. I'm up for that stuff. The problem is when they have to be, they're pre-orderable. They're popular, so you got to get in on a pre-order, right? They're harder to find, and when those first few come in, if you remember with Ectotron, the prices of them spike. So you got to make sure that those pre-orders are in and you get it. Right?
Pre-order 2 and get one on eBay quick.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm all for this, and I'm really excited.
And this could be the new Time Warrior.
Yeah, I love it. Bring this guy into the main line. Oh, that would be great. And just have him just kind of make sneak appearances into comics and just trying to fix stuff. That'd be great.
Okay, I was just gonna mention this is the 35th anniversary of both, and we have the Terminator comic book. Do you think there's any room for a Terminator crossover, and even how would they do that?
I don't know. That's a good one.
Terminator did have some iconic vehicles, kind of the Terminator vehicles. But
Alex Milne has already given him the blueprint, so
yeah.
they could take his designs and do some experimentation.
I mean, in my opinion, there's much more iconic vehicles than stuff that was in Terminators, just because the Terminator figure, the T-800, was the iconic character. The vehicles that were in the future shots, those were cool. They were really cool, but they weren't iconic, right? Like they weren't. You weren't watching the vehicles of those shots and thinking, "Damn, I want to get one of those," right?
Yeah, I'd rather have something like the A-Team van or kit.
Exactly, that kind of stuff.
I mean, this is making me think. Like we've had those fan images floating around. We have like 10 different ideas.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Yeah.
So I'm thinking we need like a Days of Future Past mugshot picture with like all these characters. Like we've got Ectotron and Back to the Future. Put red X's on those.
Yep.
But now we've got A-Team, we've got Knight Rider, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, Batmobile. Just put them all up there and just keep putting X's every time we get a new one.
Yeah. And the artist that did those was at Fan Expo one year, and I never really got a chance to talk to him. I went to their booth to talk to him. He was on a break. I think there was probably around 12 to 15 images produced in this series. So he's just taking iconic movie or TV show vehicles and turning them into Transformers. And yeah, there's some really great ones out there. Alex Milne had done a Batmobile, which just, if you looked at it, you're like, it's the 89 Batmobile, but he took it apart and made it into a Transformer as he does in his style. And you're like, damn, I totally see how that would actually be a Transformer now. Right. I think we can probably find it. He's tweeted it out or put it up on his Instagram in the last couple of weeks. So you could probably find it, but it's, there's so many possibilities in this line. I love it. They're not trying to, they're not really trying to like bring everybody in and trying to do like a Star Wars crossover kind of thing or the Marvel crossovers where everything's got to be in the, in the same kind of style. And they're just doing one figure, maybe two, and that's it. And they're out. And let's go move on to the next one. And that's it. And I love it. It doesn't have to be huge. I'm so for this. Yeah. But for our listeners out there, let us know what you think should be next. Because we've got the customized project for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got the BotCon, Star Trek one. We've got the two existing. What do you want to see coming up next? And what vehicle would you like to see it turn into a Transformer?
Yeah, and also, what did you think of the Back to the Future one? Because by the time this is up, you might already know. Apparently, there is supposed to be an announcement this week, right, Jeremy? So we may actually be inserting something into the show about now, about why, whether or not, or what the vehicle or the news is about for it. So look for that. Anyway, we're going to move on into the Fan First Friday live stream watch party that they had going on. And that was hosted by two people from Hasbro. And I'm trying to find their names here. Charles, you know their names, right?
Yes, but I cannot tell you.
It was Lenny and Rachel.
Oh, there it is. Lenny and Rachel. Yes. Rachel is an associate manager of global brands, and Lenny is the manager of product design. Yeah. So they are pretty high up there in the world of Hasbro and design and stuff like that. They went through and told us about a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the first thing that they showed off, and it's the Generations Select Centurion with Weapons Pack, which will be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. This is a really cool looking Weapons Pack. It's a repaint of the, what's his name? The purple guy from Brunt. That's right. He goes with Trypticon. Having a hard time with all these new names. And this was actually kind of, foretold that this Brunt figure looked like a Centurion back in the day. So when we were looking at him originally, they said, damn, he really does look like a Centurion.
Because the original, the weapon that he was for like the Trypticon weapon that from G1 Trypticon didn't transform. And then they gave it a robot mode, and they made the robot mode look like the Centurion from the IDW comics. What was it? The one that Don Figueroa did. It was the Stormbringer. That's where the Centurion character came from. So it was a deep pull. We were like, why did they make this guy a Centurion in robot mode when they didn't even really need to? But here we are a year later.
There you go. Got another way to use them. The weapons pack is cool. Sorry, the Centurion thing is cool, but for me, the weapons pack is the piece de resistance on this. It includes Energon cubes, the Energon axe for Optimus Prime, which I can only imagine will fit both Siege and Earthrise Optimus Prime. Energon mace, which again will likely fit both Siege and Earthrise Megatron. Roller, which everyone was kind of wondering, what the hell? Why don't we get a Optimus Prime with a trailer but no roller? So there's the trailer for Earthrise Roller. A cage for Ravage. So you've got Siege Hound with your Siege Ravage. Now you got a cage for him. Sideswipe's jetpack that will be stolen immediately by Optimus Prime.
They did say it fits all the other characters.
Trailbreaker's radar dish, Cliffjumper's blaster, Bumblebee's blaster, Ironhide's drill blasters, G1 Megatron in blaster mode with his silencer, which is a separate bit, G1 Shockwave in blaster mode, a scaled reflector, so he can be held and taken with pictures of with other figures. A scaled Soundwave, which is crazy, so you can have him just kind of chilling out in cassette mode there. And a Micro Optimus Prime to go with your Unicron. Charles, I mean, you obviously, this thing has something that goes with Unicron. You have to get this now.
Well, I mean, I was already they had me at roller, really. I mean, also I like how they say G1 Megatron in blaster mode. It's a gun. It's gun mode. He's a gun. He's not a blaster.
Well, but they also admitted that Shockwave has a blaster mode.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you mention the Ion Blaster as well for Optimus?
Oh yeah.
Or did I miss that? It's not. I may not even be on here in this list.
Yeah, they left it out. TFW 2005.
I'm looking at the picture.
Yes, that's right. So it does have the full-on Ion Blaster for Optimus Prime as well. There's a lot of stuff in this weapons pack. But yeah, Charles, continue on.
So is this Hasbro looking over at the third-party add-on kit people and saying we can do that?
I would say so. Yeah. Because
I mean, it seems these are all the little knickknacks that third party people have been doing to, for you get your mainline figure, and then Hasbro, of course, cheaps out and doesn't put all those little accessories you want. So you go to the third party to get your little accessories to enhance it and get all the G1 goodness or animated show goodness or whatever is in your mind that you want it to evoke from whatever fiction or media you remember your character from. And so Hasbro's saying, okay, let's do that and give you all this stuff. I do feel like you could have put the roller in with the Earthwise Optimus Prime. You didn't have to shove them into the separate pack, but I mean, when you look at this weapons pack, the roller is one of the biggest pieces. I mean, but this is really, I think this is a good value for what you've got a figure and all this stuff. If you were lucky for the at the Hasbro Pulse website, when it first went up, it was $10 cheaper than it was supposed to be. So yeah, I pre-ordered the sucker.
You're welcome, Daryl.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, so I think we were all lucky. We got the pre-order early, and it was $20 when the actual price point for this is $30. So that's nice. And this seems to be a consistent thing where the Pulse website kind of glitches out on prices.
They gotta fire the person that's setting these things up.
Maybe not.
Yeah, keep that guy around. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I think this is. I am happy to see Hasbro doing this. I think they're giving a good value with all this stuff, and then this encourages you to then collect the rest of the line too for all for all these little accessories. So yeah, and like I said, I pre-ordered it. You guys pre-ordered it, so
awesome,
good stuff. Yeah.
So Jeremy, like Charles said, you were able to get in on this right off the bat, so you got it for the nice cheapo price. What are these pieces here? What are the little extras are you kind of looking forward to grabbing here? Or are you just getting it for the Centurion?
I'm getting it for Roller.
Oh, well, there you go.
When I saw Roller, I'm like, oh,
Bought.
Everything else is great, but I really wanted a Roller for my Earthrise Prime. So happy to get that. I like the jetpack, and I like that it fits multiple characters. I think that was great. My kid was actually even just asking me the other day, because we had been watching G1, why my Earthrise Prime didn't have an Energon Axe. And I'm like, well, not all of them come with it. And now I'll have an Energon Axe.
Cool.
I mean, I like these. The cage is nice. I don't have a Ravage yet, but what kind of confuses me is just the lack of paint on most of the items. Yet, like Soundwave is pretty much fully painted. And I'm like, why not? I mean, you have that purpley plastic for the mace and the Energon cubes. Just make Soundwave or Shockwave that purple. That'll be fine. But they didn't. So most of the things are just gray. So there's going to be lots of like custom painting or tiny repro labels, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like these. Anytime you can get Energon cubes is always fun. And then the Centurion drone himself, I didn't get Brunt, but anytime we get any of these that they're just completely like you can take them apart and do whatever with them, those are always great. So it was really just a $20 roller for me, and everything else is bonus.
Well, the next one I think you were pretty interested in too, and this was ended up being an Amazon exclusive. This one we talked about before, but it definitely had some interest peaked, especially on this show with Jeremy. But this is Alternate Universe, or the Dead Optimus Prime. And Jeremy, you did pick this one up, or at least pre-ordered it. But I was confused because you did just get yourself an Earthrise Optimus Prime. So this is now going to be a double dip for you, or are you just a fan of dead things?
I'm a fan of repaints.
Gotcha.
Like I have the red side swipe and the black side swipe, and I don't know. I couldn't help myself with this. I think having like when we first saw the images of this figure, a while back, I really liked the way it looked, and I think it's just something that you can display and it'd be really cool, just kind of completely grayscale.
Okay, he's gray, but he's not Nemesis Prime. Just want to make sure you're aware of that.
Nemesis
he's
Prime.
not.
I am aware of that. There's no teal. They did mention that there's like a full color matrix, which I guess that's accurate to the movie. I don't know. I like it, and I jumped on that as soon as the pre-order was up. So
one thing that intrigues me is that in the live stream they did mention that this does tie into the Netflix show. So there is going to be some reference to this gray dead Optimus Prime in the Netflix show for something.
It's a Transformers series. There's a high chance that Optimus Prime is going to die in any Transformers series.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's got it on the head there.
Yeah, it says arriving July 17th. I'll have it, within a few weeks.
What are your thoughts on the dead Optimus there, Charles? Are you thinking of picking it up?
No, I mean, I think it's cool. It's interesting, but I'm still on the fence for. I saw Earthrise Optimus Prime in Target this week, and I was on the fence with picking him up because, I mean, I saw it. When did I think I saw it last week, and this was before we had the roller announcement because I picked it up and I was like, did this, because I couldn't remember, did this come with a roller? Then I did a quick Google search, like, oh, it doesn't come with a roller. So I was like, maybe I should pass on this because I do already have the 35th anniversary Siege Prime, and so I'm now that roller is coming, I think I might go back and get the Earthrise Prime. But that's I like the traditional colors. I usually don't need to get all the variant repaints, and what am I going to do with a dead Prime? He's dead.
All right, well, let's move on to something a little bit more lively. And this one here is something that it's Transformers, and it's just not seen very often, but this is a new Generation Select figure, and this one's coming out, they're only saying via a fan channel, so I don't know what that means, but it's Generation Select's Tiger Track, and this is a repaint of Siege Sideswipe, and it's going to be coming with Sideswipes and Red Alerts accessories, so that's kind of fun. This is essentially a yellow Sideswipe. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty standard. Anybody here a fan of Tiger Track, and when they saw this needed to get it?
No, I mean, like I said, I already have 2 versions of Sideswipe. I'm gonna pass on. Like, I didn't get Red Alert. I'm good on this mold.
But it's yellow.
If I'm gonna get a yellow, car like this, I'm gonna get a Wheeljack, or not Wheeljack, Sunstreaker. I mean, this is a great mold. It's a great transformation. I'm sure there are people that are fans of the Japanese Tiger Tracks figure, and there's obviously enough interest that they're doing this. So, I'm happy that it exists and it's out there.
Mm-hmm. And Charles, from what I understand, you are a huge fan of yellow cars that used to be Sideswipes.
Sure. What's
going to be the reason why you get this one? How are you going to sneak this one into the house?
I'm not. If we're fresh, Tiger Track is just the Diaclone colors for Sideswipe, right? Is it? Do I have that right, or is it something else? Like I remember the Masterpiece Tiger Track, but is there anything else?
I think Tiger Track was eHobby exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, yellow Sideswipe is yellow Sideswipe. I don't feel the need for him. And I think fan channel just means like third party resellers like BBTS or
gotcha
TF Source or whatever.
Like not Hasbro Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, well, then we're going to move on to the next one that's going to be offered through a fan channel. And this one was we saw this one in a listing somewhere. This one kind of got us suspecting on which mold it was going to be, and we were kind of right. So this is Generation Select's Rotostorm, and again, it's going to be coming out through the fan channel. This one is a repaint of the Siege... the hell's his name? I'm looking right at him. Spinister, that's right. And he looks amazing. He looks really, really good. I do have the original G1 Rotostorm, and he looks really good by comparison. So I'm interested in this just to see how, just to get him, but I'm not going to go out of my way to like try and kill myself to get him here. This is it's a really cool figure. It looks neat. The transformation's awesome because I've got Spinister, and I know that Spinister is a really good transformation. So if you're interested in Rotostorm and you're a big fan of the original figure, I suggest you try and pick this up because it looks really good. But what about you two, Charles? What's your opinion on this Rotostorm figure?
I'm happy to see like G2 get some love and also get an homage to Nick Roche's Last Stand of the Wreckers and in the IDW comics. So that's cool to do two homages right there.
There was a lot of discussion about that because apparently it was supposed to be the head sculpt was supposed to be a reference to the IDW comics, and nobody could see it.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean
it looks different.
Yeah, because I caught that too, and then I went and looked at the looked up the image on TF Wiki, and yeah, that the head doesn't really match the IDW comic, but
it is possible that they have an alternate head and just the wrong one ended up in the pictures.
That's true.
Yeah,
we'll wait and see.
We'll be in the next accessory pack.
But yeah, I mean, faceplate, no faceplate. That's a big difference. But I mean, I think if you're trying to build a record shelf, this is a nice addition here, and you can add to your wreckers team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm still being pretty selective in what I pick up, so I probably will not be seeking this out. But I think, and I still haven't gotten a chance to play with the Spinister figure. I haven't picked that one up, but I have been hearing how good the transformation is. So yeah, maybe if I want to get this figure, I'll get this instead of the Spinister. I don't know, but I think it's an interesting choice and a good way to reuse the Spinister mold. So I think they did a good job there. Hasbro's been getting creative with their remolds and repaints. And Jeremy, what are your thoughts on Rotostorm? I know that it is a Euro G1 figure, and for whatever reason, I know you despise Euro G1 stuff. But I mean, it's light blue. It's really nice. It's got pink on it. It's nuts. I don't know why you don't like it, but would you give this one a chance?
I might give this one a chance. It brings back bad junior high memories. Yeah, the original one came out right in the early 90s. And yeah, I don't like to think about junior high all that much. But I do like this. The colors they did, I looked at the original toy. Like you said, it is a lighter blue, but it looks so G2 in the colors. And I think it looks great. I'm guessing those are Spinister's guns, just repainted. Yeah. But they look like Target Masters. And I think that's cool. Yeah. And I know Spinister had the gimmick where the guns can stack on top of each other and stuff. I don't know. I just think that everything about this looks really cool. And I didn't get Spinister, so I might get on this. I don't know. It does look really good. It's pretty cool. I suggest that if you get the opportunity to do it, you do it. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. And this one here was the winner of the G1 reissue contest. And if you'll remember, it was between Skywarp, Thundercracker, Astro Train, and the eventual winner, Blaster. And this is the G1 reissues Blaster. It looks great. They showed off some pictures of it. They showed off a physical version of it. I mean, what's there to say? It's G1 Blaster. It does not come with any tapes, but I mean, let's be real here. They're doing Blaster. They did Soundwave. There's going to be some tapes, man. Like it's obvious. There was even a question about doing more tapes. The question that they got asked was about the doing more Japanese exclusives like the tapes. Oh. Yeah. The one thing that he did say during the stream was that all of the stickers are going to be applied by you, the customer. So all of Blaster's stickers will be on a sticker sheet and you'll have to put them on. And I mean, I've got a Blaster in the box and an original G1 Blaster, and a lot of his stickers were applied already. So now this is just lazy. But yeah, he looks fantastic. For people who don't know about G1 Blaster, finding one where the eject button isn't broken is like a needle in a haystack. So being able to buy a brand new one where everything works, that's awesome, because it breaks so easily. Yeah, this would be kind of cool and fun, and yeah, Blaster looks awesome. Charles, I believe you are a huge fan of Blaster. This is not a joke. I believe I'm right on this, am I not?
Well, yeah, I mean, I did get to be his voice for a short time, and I did have G1 Blaster as a kid, and I really enjoyed Blaster in the G1 Marvel comics. So yeah, you're right. You got one right this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did have Blaster as a kid. He is a bit brickish though. He's
very brickish.
Yeah, the reissues are great. The reissues are a bit overpriced though, so I'm waiting to see. I guess that we already know what the price is. It's like it's already up for pre-order. I think it's like $40 or something.
Is it? All I know is it's probably going to be $150 Canadian.
But yeah, I mean, no tapes is. I mean, the original Blaster didn't come with tapes, so that's fine. But it would still be nice to have them come with at least one tape. It's cool. I like if you're looking for G1 reissues, it's nice to have this outlet. Walmart exclusivity though does kind of hurt a little bit, but $30. Okay, so there you go, $30 for this guy. But yeah, I mean, I I don't get to Walmart that often, so I kind of miss out on these on the G1 exclusives. If I saw this, he might be an impulse buy for me.
Awesome. Jeremy, what are your memories of Blaster?
I have a very beat up G1 Blaster that has a broken eject button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think my eject button was broken before I even got it, because I was like, I know that this door has to open, and it never opened. And it was a toy I played with all the time. I never really had. I think I might have had 1 or 2 tapes, but then I got the 2010 reissue that came with a bunch of the tapes. So I think I'm skipping this because I have Blaster and 3 tapes, and I don't think there was any changes on the actual toy. I think the toy is exactly the same. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm happy that they're doing this because it's, we have the Soundwave, we need the Blaster, and if this causes them to re-release any of the G1 Autobot tapes, I'm all for it. All I have are, I think, Steeljaw, Ramhorn, and Eject. I need to rewind.
And yeah, so I'm right there with you. I don't know whether I would get it myself, but because I do have 2 of the original G1 blasters, plus I do have all the tapes as well. So that's a lot of stuff to just double up on now, or triple up on. But it's great that they're redoing it, and Blaster's a really fun character to have, and his transformation is super easy. So if you're looking for a gift for a kid, a young kid, this is a perfect one to get. And then you get to give him a history lesson on what a boombox is. And lastly on the list here, they only announced 6 figures or 6 items on this Fans First Friday stream. And the last one that they announced was kind of expected, or hoped to be expected. This was the R.E.D series. This one here, they announced what R.E.D was, and I don't actually see it here in the thing. Oh, yes, I do. Never mind.
Robot Enhanced Design.
Yeah. Robot Enhanced Design, because we do have another story on just what these things are. So anyway, they announced what the first 3 figures are going to be for this line. This Robot Enhanced Design is a Transformers 6-inch action figure line that will be non-transformable and highly articulate. So you can just do some really awesome posing. You can get some really cool looking figures. That's about it. They're action figures. They're Marvel Legends for Transformers. That's what they are. And they look awesome. They look really cool. And they announced what the first 3 figures will be. And they are, surprise, surprise, Transformers G1 Optimus Prime, G1 Megatron, and G1 Soundwave are the first 3. I think that's kind of expected. We did get this kind of rumor a long time ago. If you remember, we were speculating on what the hell R.E.D meant. G1 R.E.D Optimus Prime or something like that, or G1 R.E.D Megatron, and we were trying to figure out what the hell they were going to do with that. But it looks like they're sticking with the G1 line on this. They're looking to be available September 1st and going to go for $19.99 a piece. That's not that bad. That's basically Marvel Legends price, so they're going along with that. They do have a couple interchangeable gimmicks. Hands will swap in and out. Optimus has his Energon axe, a couple different hands. Megatron has his mace, Energon mace, and a Energon cube that he can hold. Optimus also does have the Matrix of Leadership in his chest that does open up. But other than that, there's not a whole hell of a lot that you can do with these guys.
Soundwave's chest opens up and there's a laser beak in there that does not transform.
Right. Yes, that too. And that's pretty cool. So expect to see these on the shelves in the next little while. And then we did get a story earlier on in the week, actually, about the next few R.E.D figures. So we already have Megatron, Soundwave, Optimus Prime, but we've got Prime RC. Is going to be Transformers Prime RC, I guess?
That's the speculation.
We've got Cheetor, so Beast Wars Cheetor, and Action Figure. That might be just a placeholder. But then they also have Red Bee, so a Red Bumblebee. Maybe it's Cliff Jumper. I don't know who.
Well, no, it's the red line, probably.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah,
so many
maybe there.
Bumblebees in this
I see. So Bumblebee, there you go. It's late. Yeah, so they're gonna go ahead with this line. They're moving pretty fast. They got a full wave going here. That's pretty cool. Does anybody have any kind of thoughts on this? This is non-transforming. Charles, I know you love non-transforming stuff. You're mostly a statues guy, but these are just straight up action figures. What are your thoughts on these? Are you going to buy the whole wave?
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on these guys. I mean, these are definitely fun action figures, but yeah, I need Transformers to transform, so they're not for me, unfortunately. But I look forward to see. It looks like they're not sticking to G1, so I look forward to seeing what figures are going to go into this line, like with a Transformers Prime RC and a Cheetor. I'm curious to see what else they're going to throw in here.
Mm-hmm. And Jeremy, I mean, being able to get a Transformer that doesn't transform is sure, it's limiting, but it's a really cool action figure now, and it changes the play dynamic. Are you interested in picking up any of these?
I might end up picking up one just to kind of see the gimmick and see how it is.
Okay.
I'm not overly interested, like Charles. I'm not interested in non-transforming figures as much. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was, I'd probably be big into like Star Wars figures or Marvel Legends or something like that. And it's just, I don't know. It's just never really been my thing. Mm-hmm. So I like the gimmick. I like that you can swap out the hands and do different things with them. I mean, they're adding a lot of play value to them.
Yeah.
But it's just, if you're a big like Star Wars Black Series or Marvel Legends series collector, I could see you going in for this. You know, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm. As for me, I'm kind of thinking that I might pick up a couple. I like the look of the Optimus. I definitely like the look of the Megatron. It's hard to get a Megatron figure to look like Megatron if he's got to transform. So having a Megatron that looks like this and you know has a good feel to him is definitely appealing. But yeah, that's it'll be interesting to see what else they put in the line. Like Charles said, I like the option of having figures that look more towards their cartoon counterpart and don't have to rely on the transformation. I am, don't get me wrong, I am a sucker for the engineering and I like them to transform. If they can just stand there and look amazing and be $20-$25, then I'm all for that as well. But yeah, I probably will pick up Optimus and Megatron. I wanted to just end this with the questions that they asked the people at the end of this little Fan First Friday event. And there was just a couple, not too many. And they gave a lot of politicalized answers. So, don't expect a bombshell to get dropped here. But here's the first question we got. Any chance of releasing some more Japanese rarities through the Pulse, as you did with the dinosaur cassettes? And they said the answer is yes, later in the year on Pulse. So look for something more from Japan on Pulse later the year. We don't know what it is. They didn't say, but something's coming. They said, with the Decepticon clones being re-released as part of Earthrise, is it possible for the Autobot clones to receive a similar treatment? Yes. I think it would be. I mean, we even speculated on that on the show. The Decepticon clones are getting done. The Autobot clones are getting done. And the guy doing the stream, Lenny, said that they always want to have, if they make a Decepticon or an Autobot, they always want to have a counterpart to that character. So they did the Decepticon clones, the Autobot clones are coming. So they're going to do 1 for 1, or in this case, 2 for 2. Next question was, the Studio Series line is fantastic. Do you plan on to keep this line going? And they said, oh yeah, this line is continuing. They don't see it ending anytime soon. And I believe the last question, what?
But no 86 movie Studio Series line revealed, unfortunately.
They did not announce or confirm or say anything about that. And then the last one that they had here, what is the best way for Transformers fans to communicate with Hasbro about what they want to see in the future? And this one came with very little concrete information. They said to, talk to us at conventions. They said to make posts about us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then they'll see them. There's no direct way to actually talk to anybody and say, hey, I really like this character. You could make a figure for this guy, but there is no direct way. So
I have a direct way.
Really?
Yeah. Tell Daryl what you want and have Daryl ask someone at Hasbro, and that's how you'll get it.
Okay. Oh, weird. I guess that works.
We have evidence that it works.
Well, I'll see what I can do. That's all I can say. But that's it for the Fan First Friday event, or whatever the hell they called it. And did anyone else want to jump in on anything, mention anything that I might have missed? I tried to cover everything there.
No, I think you're good.
They have some new T-shirts up on Hasbro Pulse too.
The what now?
Oh yeah,
some new T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it was just with the blaster. They have a T-shirt that says "Having a Blast."
Right. Yes, they did have that.
So what Jeremy's saying is there's nothing else to cover.
Right.
You did a good job. You got all the important stuff, and I just threw in the non-important.
For people that are not in the United States and seeing everything that gets posted to Hasbro Pulse, they did not mention anything about shipping outside of the US or whether or not it's going to be better. When shipping or the pre-orders did go up at 1 p.m. on Friday for everything new, there seemed to be no information or no confirmation that shipping to outside of the US was any better. It still seemed to be as crummy as it ever was. So that's still not taken care of or changed. Yeah, so that was unfortunate, but I didn't expect them to chat about that on their very quick little stream that they had going on Friday. But if you have an opportunity to talk to anybody from Hasbro, then ask. I will ask if I have an opportunity.
Not everyone has friends in the US that are willing to just buy something assuming that you'd be interested.
That's right. Jeremy did me a solid.
All right. Well, I think that's enough for our toy segment this week. So let's move right on to trips to the store. And this is where we show off all the cool Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that you can watch on YouTube. You can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. And we will also put the audio right here in the podcast so you can listen as we describe everything in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions podcast will return after these messages.
All right, so now let's show off our stuff. And Jeremy, you're going to go first.
All right. First thing is, for whatever reason, Transformers vs. Terminator was not in my pull list. That has been resolved. And I also picked up issue 2. This is the Casey Collar cover. Cover B. And it is fantastic. I also have the rest of the stuff from the IDW box that I showed off last week. This one, I'll start with Transformers Dark Prelude. This has a Spotlight, Orion Pax, Thundercracker, Megatron, Bumblebee, Trail Cutter, and Hoist. So these are all leading up to Dark Cybertron. I think in particular we liked the Orion Pax one. It was basically he didn't have his mask, and it really was frustrating him. And so it's like how Orion Pax got his mask back. Something. It was a fun story. I have More Than Meets the Eye Volume 10. This looks like it includes a DJD story and Getaways Mutiny. So, Dying of the Light. It looks like there's an Overlord. So, lots of good stuff. This is when things were just like kind of really heating up towards the end of More Than Meets the Eye before it went into Lost Light. I have Primacy, which is the third part of the Autocracy trilogy. And then I also got Monstrosity. So 2/3 of this didn't get Autocracy, but I already got the books. But these are, Livio Remidelli, Chris Metzen, and Flint Dilley. So pretty cool. Good story. And then last, Revenge of the Fallen Prelude, Defiance. So can't win them all.
I think
But-
Defiance is Andrew Griffith's first work.
I think the movie comics were always fairly decent, and then the movies themselves ignored everything in the comics. But yeah, this is written by Chris Mowry, pencils by Dan Kana, Andrew Griffith, and Don Figueroa, inks by Andrew Griffith and John Wyckock, and colors by Josh Perez. So yeah, it's movie designs, but they're I think I have the individual floppies for this, but I haven't read it in forever. So I'm probably going to check this out. It's like, what the movies could have been.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
And that Autocracy issue is not easy to come by. Because it was, if you remember, it was released as a web comic, right?
Yeah.
Originally, and then it was amalgamated into a larger book. But I've been on the lookout for it myself, and I think I've only seen it come across through the store like once. Oh. And by the time I thought to go grab it, and it was gone again. So
yeah, I know I have the physical copies of the individual issues that were released.
Autocracy wasn't released in individual issues.
Pretty sure they collected them.
In one issue.
Okay. Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
I have.
It was released as digital only on Comixology, like it was 8-page. Yeah. There was 12 8-page issues, and then it got collected in the physical book. Yeah.
So that one physical book is not easy to find. So if you have that, well, there you go. You've got it already.
I'm gonna have to dig it up and see. But yeah, I like that I got the others all in trade. So lots of reading to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Daryl, you're up.
Oh well, this is a small, short week for me. I don't have any new toys. I don't have any new comics. Although I did pick up this week because it did come out recently. This is the second edition of the manga, so I picked that up. And I've yet to read the first edition, but I do have number 2 now. So it's cool. It's I guess this is the regular cover. From what I understand, I did get a variant the first time around. So I don't think there was a variant this time, but if there was, I didn't see it. But yeah, so I got the second edition of the manga, and I guess I'll read it at some point. I've never ever read a manga before, so the idea of going backwards and in the different direction is scary to me. But yeah, the art looks kind of cool.
Just turn it upside down. Then you just have to read everything upside down.
That's insane. Yeah. But yeah, no, it looks kind of cool. So I'll check it out at some point. It's got Raiden in it. That's cool. Right on. That's it. That's all I got.
Nice. You didn't pick up the Transformers vs. Terminator number 2?
Oh yeah, I did. Did that come out this week too?
Yep.
Oh. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
You can show it next week.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I did. I actually did buy a lot of comics this week. I just didn't think I'd get the Transformers one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Got a lot of Batman comics.
He is a comic book character.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's what I got.
All right. I will finish up. And first off, I also got Transformers vs. the Terminator number 2. I got cover A because I don't get variant covers anymore, unfortunately, to my shop. But this is a great comic. I encourage everyone to get this series. really enjoying it. Alex Milne's art is awesome. The story is great by John Barber, David Marriott, and Tom Waltz. So check it out. And colors by David Garcia Cruz, also awesome. So I also, at my store, just randomly, they had Transformers Generation 1 #1, but this is the non-foil variant. So I had Generation 2. Yeah, sorry. So I had picked one of these up a few years ago because Yoshi was looking for it, and I gave it to him because I had the foil variant, but I didn't have this one. But I thought, hey, this can complete my collection. I have the foil variant. I'll get the non-foil variant, and it was $8. That's not too bad. So cool.
A long miss.
And and lastly, in the mail, I got Toy Robot Magazine. So this is very nice, high quality magazine. Some really cool photography. Got a little Playboy centerfold there of Omega Supreme. Interesting articles. I haven't had a chance to read through it, but it covers stuff from pre G1, stuff from G2, Action Masters. There's
Spider-Man that you just were on.
Oh yeah. Let me go back to that. Yeah, Spider-Man robots, including a Transformer there, I think. Or transforming Spider-Man robot, I should say, not a Transformer. Yeah, this is really well done. I think I'm going to pick up issue 2 as well whenever that is announced and comes out. They said they're making more. I did back this on Kickstarter before it unfortunately was not successful, but they still were able to put it out. And I think it was well done. I did get one for Daryl too. So here's yours, Daryl. I have not thumbed through this one. I tried to keep it as pristine as possible for you. So and I put it in a bag and board. So
oh wow, wow, that's impressive. Thank you.
And I did spring for the foil variant.
Ooh.
So there you go. And it comes with some stickers, some Toy Robot stickers that look like Decepticon symbols with Megatron. There. So
nice.
Yeah, so foil variant. It's the 90s all over again.
I was hoping to get on it when they put it up for everybody, and looks like it's out of stock.
Oh, sorry.
I missed out on it twice.
Well, Charles has 2 copies. You can get his thumbed through one when he's done.
$30. All right. That's all we got for trips to the store.
We now return to the Transmissions podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Car like this, I'm going to get a wheeljack. Or not wheeljack, Suntrigger. My brain is not working good. But yeah.
Suntrigger?
Yeah, I said Suntrigger.
Oh, okay.
You didn't hear me.
Nope, I didn't.
I mean,
I was too busy laughing at you.
Yeah.
I've only got one thing this week, but I will show you guys this before we start.
Is it something that should not go on the stream because we are streaming live?
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't.
It's a ratings bonanza. The switchboards are lighting up. 2 calls. Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we... God damn it.
Hey, he can only do that once.
Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we can show off all the awesome Transformers stuff. Oh.
You didn't think I'd do it.